Good morning. If you're not at your device watching this, it's okay. I am early. I'm still doing other stuff. But I saw Sylvia and Tracy in here, and I just had to come on and say, Tracy and Sylvia. And good afternoon, Sylvia. Oh, goodness. I did not sleep well last night. Good morning, Deborah. Did I miss you? I'm sorry. Good morning, Dee Dee. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing. I'm early. And I just went blank on what I was doing. Anybody know? Okay, that's right. I got my block of the month for October 8th cut out. At least I thought I did. And then I realized I was one piece short. And sneak peek. That's going to be one of the colors. I really wish this thing had a tilt. I did not fix that over the weekend. I had a rough weekend for some reason. I did have my granddaughter all day Sunday. Went over there at 6 in the morning, brought her back here a little after 8, then went back over there at 6 because they went to the Chiefs game. By the way, Chiefs won. Spoiler alert. I should have said that first. Sorry. They had a really good time. And me and granddaughter had a really good time. And we made a mess. Luckily, for me, when I got back home, my husband and son had picked up the mess that we made. Thank you for the links. Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Melissa says hi to everyone, and she's not going to be here this morning. Mom and Pop are on this afternoon. Let's see, that 10 o'clock my time. See, I thought I'd go get some stuff cut. But once I let that bot on, Sylvia just woke up. I need something to cut with. Oh, I only need 4 of these pieces, so I'm going to cut these really quick. Did everybody have a good weekend? Miss Sylvia. Yeah, work it, girl. The 8th will be our block of the month. But before that, on the 4th, we're going to have a group live. And I could be wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. Dawn at my quilt projects, I still need to send her the invite for Zoom, will be with us for Babes and Booze. And you don't have to do a Halloween theme. I think all of us are. Dawn might be doing fall. I don't know. I didn't ask if she comes. But, do what you want. Do what makes your heart happy. Just come hang out with some friends. I was thinking the other day, my channel isn't much like other channels because that is what I do. And my mobility is limited because of my spine and my trimmers, which is why I had to stop cutting this the other day. My trimmers got the best of me, and I needed to eat, and I let them go on for so long, they did not like it. So even after I ate, I had to wait longer for it to stop shaking, because what happens is my blood sugar gets low and I start shaking real bad. The tremors are naturally always there. They get worse when I do stupid things like that, silly things like that. And trying to control them when they don't want to be controlled only exhausts every muscle in my body. Okay, 1, 2, I got 2 more to cut of these, and I will be all about you guys. The block of the month will be Sylvia, LOL. I'm on it, Tracy. And Tracy is our mischief manager. Let's see. That makes me giggle because I hear something else inappropriate. Surprise, surprise. Woman? That's why she's a moderator. I can't trust her in chat otherwise. I tell you guys that every time. Oh, I was needing 2 more of these. And now I'm going to be late starting. Oh. Deborah says, probably cleaning my mess that I created by moving one piece on my counter. I have a room that has been taunting me that I need to clean up. Kind of shove things in there. So there's a rocking chair full of stuff. There is a desk chair full of stuff. There is a cedar chest. Top of it is full of stuff. And an ottoman on top of it. That, guess what, is full of stuff. That is actually organized stuff, though. It's my husband's. I need to take care of that. It'll get done when it gets done. I do the pace that my body allows, and that's not everybody else's pace, but it's what I got to do. So, and last week I did not make good decisions. I forgot to wear I call it a rib squisher because I have scoliosis and my ribs are all twisted and my hips are twisted. It helps. It's actually called a waist trimmer. It's got boning all the way around it. I call it a corset too. So that's what it reminds me of. So I forgot to wear that to clean last week, and I paid for it. It helps I think it helps my ribs, keeps them from twisting in a way that pinches things that they're not supposed to. And this is way too much information for y'all. I know. 1, 2, 3, one more. But Babes and Booze will be on my channel at 8 a.m. my time. This Saturday, October the 4th. And October the 8th will be our block of the month. It's hard doing two things at once. One thing usually is messed up. Will be our block of the month. And it's countries this year. And we've already got a theme and everything picked up for next year. For Melissa Practically Creative, Sylvia, you and me, FPP, and myself. And sneak peek. That's going to be on my block of the month. Hopefully I get it done today. I have a busy, busy week. And this is my scraps from my block. Keep your floating ribs from causing damage. Of course, it is what most call them. I had no idea. I just knew that I got it, and it worked to do all that. And it's really long. It goes from like right here all the way down to my hips. If I wear it too long, though, it does hurt my hips. Okay. I'm sat with my tins machine on. I've got one of those in my cart on Amazon. Gonna get. And because I cut all these with trimmers, I'm going to be doing FPP on the 8th instead of the traditional piecing way. You could do either, but since I didn't cut them exact, I'm not going to try to do it traditionally pieced. I don't think. Okay. Show and tell real quick. I don't know if anybody remembers this. Was it last year or the year before? Because I said, I can't remember what I told my daughter. Daughter-in-law told me that they've got a theme for the babies room and it's going to be fishing. Yay! Because men folk and women folk in my family, we like to fish. And I just happen to have this. This was from one of the block of the months that I created. And when I created it, I said this has all the things that my kids liked when they were little. Football, fishing, hunting, more fishing, and more fishing. So I can finish that. Oh, perfect. Yes. And they both like it. So I can finish that along with the boot. This baby is not going to be quilt poor. Of course not. Along with this boot one, because she has a boho Western theme going on that she likes in the house. So I was thinking the boots would be perfect. Nope, that's not what we're going to do. I was very surprised. And Sylvia says that's perfect. It is. And this weekend when I had her all day, I have this little toy brush. It's got like bristles on one end and kind of like a comb on the other end. It's actually for like eyebrows or something, but I put it in with the toys because it's perfect for a doll's hair. Baby girl kept wanting to help grandma brush her teeth with the harsh bristled part. And I go like this, I go, and she'd go over my mouth. Oh, it hurt. So I got a extra new toothbrush, gave it to her, told her that's for her to use on her. Because grandma ain't got no teeth. My son asked me this morning, did you guys give her a toothbrush? And I'm, yes. Has she told you grandma doesn't have any teeth? Or showed you? Because it is so stinking cute. Oh, definitely have someone quilt worthy. Love it. Yes. Tracy said it. Yes, I do. And they so are. Pardon me while I take a drink because it's early here in Missouri. And I apologize if that slurped. I forgot to turn my live chat on. So if I missed any comments, I'm a horrible person. We'll leave it at that. I do have the pattern, the link to the Star FPP for the cute boot and the Benartex. Did I say that right? I was going to put it Benartex. I did. I said it right. Yay. Go me. I have that pinned to the top also. Yes, she did. I knew Tracy would help me. Did I tell y'all Melissa says hi? She couldn't be here this morning. She has other things that have priority right now. So we'll see her again though. And you know what that hype thing does? It pushes your content out to more people. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're on your phone, I don't think I've seen it on the computer, but if you're on your phone underneath the video where it has things you can do like share and stuff, if you scroll, or sometimes it's the comment, you scroll it to the side, you'll see the word hype, and you can do 3 a week. And it's just supposed to push out that person's content to more people. I guess it's like a popularity contest, like YouTube isn't that already, right? But it doesn't cost you anything. It helped my last block of the month get a whole lot more views. I don't know about my watch time and likes and things like that didn't seem to change, so they weren't getting to the right people yet. But there's that. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia hyped me. Thank you. Appreciate that. It does help. Okay. Cute Boot Pattern by Virginia Cole for Benartex. I don't know why my jaw has trouble with that name. That is what we were working on, and I heard back very quickly. I think was it right after the live? I think I heard back very quickly from them that said there wasn't any problem with me showing that. Just, make sure I do all the links and things for them. And I was absolutely, that's what we do. So that is not my pattern. Can't hype on my tablet, Deborah says. Oh, it may be a cell phone only thing then. So when I do the star part, I'm going to do the star part in the FPP I did. Now the FPP I did for the star is not including the thin sashings. If you look at their pattern, there's a sashing that goes around the star to get it up to size of the boot. And then there's sashing in between them. It doesn't include that sashing. It just includes the star to get it up to the size of the boot. If that makes sense. So that is the picture of where the letters go is over on my community page. I didn't put a different document for that. I just did the templates and the FPP paper. So you can print it out. You need 5 of them. I hyped off my tablet, Sylvia says. Mine is a cheap Android. Oh, Sylvia's is I was gonna say cheap, a dinosaur iPad. Which, by the way, we're still doing the crowdfunding for Sylvia to try to get her a new one. So if you can share, donate, pray, whatever it is you do or feel comfortable doing, help us support Sylvia and get a new iPad for her channel because she is on a Gen 2. iPad. It can't do a lot of the things that would be helpful to her in her YouTube journey. So I had to do it on the previous video, though, not on this one. Sylvia says, by the way, don't ask how I got this squirrel here. Usually I have a solid train of thought that will take me to the squirrel. This one didn't. Dee Dee's share on Friday. If you haven't watched it, watch it and stay to the end because she gives nighttime views and it is just gorgeous. So that you should know that. She does tidying, decluttering, simple DIYs, cleaning. I think I've got it covered. 7 o'clock is early to remember all the words. Aw. Dee Dee says, oh, thank you, friend, for being so kind. You are welcome anytime. I may miss commenting every now and then because I'm still a bad person, but I would tell everybody about you all the time. And she doesn't just sew, but she is here every live for us. Isn't that amazing? Can't even get my own mom to watch me. Miss Dee Dee is always there. Okay, so we've got this pattern. Trying to get my train of thought back on track. Virginia Cole pattern. It's the cute boot. I organized myself right into not having anything out this morning. Oh, fiddlesticks. There it is. And I'm still working on the right one because shockingly, I got nothing done this weekend. Home on the Range is the fabrics that I'm using. This is the Benartex. And there is links underneath the video. There's a link pinned in the video. And Dee Dee says, one day I'm going to sew. I promise. Life goals. I had that goal for 40 years. 30 years. I don't think before like 10 counts. So that is the pattern I'm working on, and my light thingy is not plugged in. What I was doing the other day, trying to get these all set up, and I still have to get this one set up. That one, your first piece. Oh no. First piece is always pretty side out. I need to get a different one of that because I just messed that up. I put it the wrong way and then I cut it off, and so now I don't have enough over here. Let's see if we can see this. Kind of, but there's not enough over here to go in the seam allowance. So I need to get a new piece for that. But what I was doing was I was taking all of the boot pieces. I think I'm so slick when I'm organizing for a live, and then I realize I'm really not. I need to re-iron this. Okay, I'm getting all the pieces, like this piece, and then this piece. I'm getting all of these prepared to sew. So I'm going to take sometimes I get confused. I want to have these all laid out with these pieces glued on. So all I have to do is sew them. And since this is the first piece on this one, I'm going to have to redo that one. But you know what? I don't think I want to do it right now. So I'm going to show you the first piece, right side up, away from the paper, on the back of the FPP. I use the glue stick. The second piece, and I don't have a link in there because I decided to play this morning instead of to do my job. I have Elmer's glue. Actually, I have whatever cheap washable school glue they have at Walmart in here. This was Roxanne's Glue Based It. I love this bottle and that fine tip. I got it from Halo Inspirations, and it gives you just a little dot, and it's refillable. You could you could get more Roxanne Glue Based It brand, but I'm just using regular washable glue in it, and I love it. When this tip wears out, when the bottle wears out, I'll get another one, and it's nicer because it doesn't cause the. I saw another YouTuber recently do a thing on glues. It doesn't cause the hand fatigue from having that little bitty, that type of thing. So Deborah says, I thought of you, Dee Dee, yesterday when I made my mess. LOL. Dee Dee says, that's funny, Deborah. Dee Dee, I didn't realize that moving one shelf on the counter about 1 foot would create such a mess. It snowballs. So what I did is I used the fine tip to put these pieces on, and I just put a few drops right across here, and it holds. That way I don't have to use pins, I don't have to worry about it, and my pieces are ready to go. And the same with this piece. You're supposed to snowball a corner. I don't think I put anything out there I shouldn't. I put a little bit of glue right here, and I'll sew from corner to corner. You can draw a line. I chose not to because I'd like to live on the wild side. You can draw a line here because we're going to sew that, and then just flip it and cut off this piece right here. So I was trying to get these all ready to sew. I've decided I don't want to mess with this one. That I stopped on last week. I have them in here separated by these long pieces. So I have at least 3 that are ready to sew, but I needed to. These pieces match this piece. These pieces match this piece and this piece and this piece. And then this piece right here matches this piece too. So I put them together so I don't get them sewn to the wrong boot. And I separated them using this piece. Good morning, Fern. Good morning. I saw GM Deborah and I was like, what's GM Deborah? Slow. So I use this piece to separate them. So all I have to do is grab the stack by that piece. Next couple are ready down there. And I will tell you, I don't know how much of this I'm going to need, but for the smaller pieces on the boot, all of these, the background pieces, I cut a 1.5 inch strip to do those. I can get all those pieces. I should be able to get all those pieces. I haven't tested my theory yet. I can get all those pieces off the 1.5 inch strip because I didn't use my templates to do all of them. So I can get those pieces off the 1.5 inch strip. And as of right now, I've cut everything it's called for except for the strips for the boot pieces that I'm doing from 2 yards, and I still have this amount left. I'd call it 18 inches. Yep, 18 inches. I'm getting better at the guess game. I have about 18 inches of a 2 yard cut left. I'll probably have less than that when I'm done, but it calls for 2.25 yard, I think. Thank you very much, Sylvia, for getting Halo in there. Oh, Angel. And her new block dropped last Wednesday with their live afterwards. Where did my pattern go? Let's see what they called for the background. 2.75 is what it's called for, and I only got 2 yards. 2 yards should be plenty with the way I am doing the star. Because I've already got that. I've already got everything cut out. I only have the pieces of 12, 13, maybe 14 boots, which this should be more than enough for. This was the basic, I can't remember the color, on sale over at Fat Quarter Shop this month from the basic line. It's Riley Blake. Exclamation basic. We'll get you over to their shop to see what that is. I am not an affiliate. I am not sponsored by them. That's what I get. I am an affiliate for Amazon. So if you click on one of my Amazon links below, that's going to take you to Amazon, and I will get a small percentage if you buy anything. And if you don't buy anything, that's fine too. I can still see that you appreciate the links. You're interested in what I'm doing. And by the way, this pattern, that link is the most popular one I've ever put up. I thought that was a fun fact. Fern says, I love this pattern. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. I feel like I'm saying a whole lot. I need to take a breath. Pardon me while I take a breath. All right, so I'm still on the right boot, which means I'm making another of these. And we have, I think it's 8 right and 12 left. You could look at the pattern and tell that. I think it's okay for me to say that. This is not my pattern. So I'm going to make the rest of them like this. And like I said, make sure you have enough fabric for these 2 little pieces. This piece, match the boot, and this little piece right here, and that right there. And they have this piece matching this piece up here. I didn't want it matching. It's hard to see, but whoops, I don't know where I was going with that. This is a brown, and this is a black, because I liked it. So that's what I did. And this, I think they may overstate how big of a piece of you need. Let's see. So that's a quarter, because you know the smallest you can get is a quarter. But if you've got a strip of, hang on, let me do some math. I'm still planning a Stetson FPP pattern. I just got lots on at the minute. Vern asked how that was going. Sylvia says, they are so cute. Love them. My order from your link is arriving today, Deborah said. Thank you very much, Deborah. I appreciate that. Can't tell on camera, so nah, don't matter. Okay. But if you have, let's see. Because there's 20 boots, so at most 6 inches by width of fabric for the boot heel, if you did them differently, would work. And for this little piece up here, maybe 2 widths of fabric. So it's not going to take a lot. You could use your scraps easily. I'm using charm packs for this, for the boot part, because I had charm packs that match it great. Okay, now that my thinking is done, can't tell how long I saw that. Sylvia says we'll be contacting, or Deborah says Sylvia will be contacting you about your gnomes soon. Scraps work too. Tracy said exactly. LOL. Any FPP is fabulous for scraps. Okay, most any FPP. I love doing FPP because it uses my scraps. I'm using the big pieces on some other things sometimes, and then I'm using little pieces on FPP, which, you know, with the cost of fabric. Special one just for you, Sylvia said. Oh, no. Sylvia makes custom FPP for a fee. I'm trying to get around my wires down here so everything don't come tumbling down. All right. This is an add a quarter plus ruler. It has a beveled lip over here where you turn your paper on it. It has the ledged lip over here. I guess is that a lip? Okay. Where you butt it up against your fold of your paper when you're doing that. That is not necessary. I want this cutter. That one back. Alrighty then. I've always used a 9014. I say always. I've been doing this for like 3 years. I've always used a 9014 needle. Universal or quilting. I try to get quilting needle usually. If I have universal, I will use it for piecing. 70 is very good. So I am told by my friends who have had better, longer experience than me doing this. The 70 works great for piecing. She is so reasonably priced and so talented, Deborah says. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that vote. Sylvia, do you have a link for your iFund pad? If you give me a second, I bet I do. Sylvia may beat me to it just a second because we are doing that crowdfunding for Sylvia. I just saw it this morning. There it is. Wait, I think that probably just goes to my short. Let's get her PayPal up there so you don't have to see. All right. Sylvia, are you quicker than me? Pardon me. Trying to figure out where I put things. I did finally. There's the PayPal one. Stop that. No. Let me put what this is really quick. That is not how you spell Sylvia. And we're not going to put that either because heaven knows what would that come out with Tracy in her mind. I was going to abbreviate PayPal, Tracy. Imagine what I was going to do. There is the link to Sylvia's PayPal if you want to contribute to her new iPad, new or refurbished. Whatever she can get is what she's going to get. Her 50th anniversary is coming up at the beginning of next year and her 70th birthday. So we thought if we started early with crowdfunding, maybe we could get her enough money together to get her something new for her channel. I'm burning up. Okay. So 9014 or 70, is it 12? Needle. I use serger thread for piecing. Do not tell the quilt police. Do you know I have not had a quilt fall apart yet? Oh, and Fern's birthday is this Saturday. Happy birthday. Are you going to be at Babes and Booze? We can sing happy birthday to you. I just volunteered the other ladies because I do that. Happy early birthday in case not. And I'm going to use my universal foot for this. Imagine how much I could get done if I could just shut my mouth. But I'm not going to beat myself up over what does or doesn't get done. Because life happens. Yes, I sent Sherlock a message. Happy birthday, Fern. Today is Lori's birthday. Well, happy birthday to her. Let's see. Close your eyes. I'm going to move this so you can see down here and not my face. Because I didn't get my camera sorted out. I think I got Streamlabs downloaded right before I had about a nausea Saturday. Close your eyes. Oh, look at that. It does tilt. It may fall also. Let's see if we can get. All right. I think that's as good as we're going to get. Oh, doggone it. My tape is not over here. Oh, something else I did. I have this little thing. It came out of a tiered tote thing, organizing tote. This is for the flying geese. These are all the strips that go next to them. These are all the strips that go between the blocks at the end. And these are the other papers that I have ready for the left-facing boot when I'm ready. And these are some scraps that I can use. The heel. This is the tab at the top. This is the boot piece that I need to cut one more of. So they're all right here. And when I'm sitting over there at my chair, I can just put this down there and grab what I need. It's organized for my head. Tracy. Oh, Melissa, how did you find us? We were well hidden. So this one, yeah, I could at least set it up. And I'm not setting it up with the the paper sides facing up because this helps me make sure that I get them on the right side when I face the fabrics up like you would for any other piecing. And this one goes here. Hopefully that boot's on right. And then these two go up here. So all my papers have the first fabric on, right side facing away from it with Elmer's glue. And then the next fabric where I can, I have glued with the Roxanne's glue based, not Elmer's glue. It is the cheap glue at Walmart. I sit there and flat out fibbed to you. Put that on with that so I don't have to use pins, and this stays together for when I'm moving it all around like a crazy woman, because why wouldn't I? And they all are cut to the 1/4 inch, so it's lined up right there. And we're going to start over here. So this was, you can tell this was some scrap I used. I just need enough to cover that piece of paper, which you can see it does right here on both sides. Now when I sew this, I'm going to make sure that I grab, let's see that one. We're going to sew this side first. I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to push it back so it doesn't get caught under here. Flip it over and I'm going to sew off across that line and off. And yes, I did right and left on all of my pieces that were right and left. Hang on to your, I don't know what these are, the threads. Melissa, are you driving? Are you home? Fern, I have no idea where Fernando came from. Did Joan help you? And if you need my attention, it will take a minute because there's a little bit of lag time. Oops, that's not turned down. My stitch length is usually 1.6, probably 1.4 when I have to use other papers, but this newsprint is very thin. I would not buy this again because it is overpriced right now. Printer paper is cheaper, so don't have to backstitch, just sew straight off. I could actually grab the first one and do all of the first ones on all of these right now, but we're not going to because why do we want that confusion? And my iron isn't on, but it will be. Yes, like that. Exclamation, C-O-L-E-E-N. Does turn it orange. I interrupted myself and didn't finish my sentence. I do that quite often, I know. Will get my attention. There is a little bit of lag time, so that piece fits. Goes all the way up and all the way down. Well, that's warming up. We're just going to do this piece over here, and this is the toe of the boot. This is not meant to be a thorough tutorial. I'm just showing you how I do FPP basically, and if you like the pattern, you can sew along with me. If you have questions, I'd be happy to try to ask, or you could email Benartex. I'm sure they have a info email on their page if you have questions. So now we have those two on, and no pin. Whoops, no pins. No pins. And forgive me if I start singing. I got to listen to Baby Shark all day Sunday. All kinds of musical stuff. And my husband is like, I never want to hear Baby Shark again. I was like, you're so lucky you didn't have all the kids to. I think what he remembers is Toy Story. Kids loving Toy Story. Now I'm going to carefully cut away all the extra pieces of fabric. Colleen, you have the cutest fabric. Thank you. I don't remember who did the line. And I think I said it was called Home on the Range. Thank you. That is so sweet. I actually got this because, you know, I used to knit. And all of my nieces and nephews needed a knitted baby quilt from their Aunt Colleen. And of course, my grandbabies. I think I should change my blade. Not doing that right now. So this might get sketchy. But when I was helping at my mom's house, I was telling my mom that I was making a quilt for probably a cousin or something. And she's like, oh, you are? I was like, yeah. And I can't remember what she said, but it was insinuated that I didn't make quilts for my great niece and nephew that she's raising. So I said, well, Mom, where are those quilts that I knitted for the kids? Do you still have those? Oh, that's right. You did make those. I don't know where they are. Of course you don't. They probably got lost in the shuffle. Okay, that's not going to be big enough for anything. That's not big enough for anything. So that's my waist. This will probably work on one of the boots. So I'll put it in this little thing that I showed y'all. What charm pack was the no. I looked for a year. I should have asked. I think this is the name of what they used. Yellowstone, I think, may have been the fabric. Let's see if I've got that. I'll look again. But Home on the Range was the charm pack I used, and I got that on sale back then, long time ago. Because I thought, well, I'll make my nephew one and my niece one. I had girl fabrics. I really didn't have any little boy fabrics. Where is the pattern name? Let's see. They used Western Ways, Rodeo, Tossed Horseshoes. It doesn't. I'm thinking that Yellowstone is the name of the line. Canvas, Yellowstone, something like that is the name of the line that they used. So we've got this one ready. Now we're going to take that long piece where we're going to sew corner to corner. Didn't mark it because I am a wild woman. And by the way, that's supposed to turn that way, right? Yep, that's supposed to turn that way. So I'm going to sew corner to corner on this one. And if you sew just a tad to the side you're cutting out, make sure that you have enough fabric there. But like I said, we're living dangerously. I'm going to start on the corner, and I'm using my seam tape, which you can barely see. I've got my corner right there on the seam tape. That helps me line it up. And to make sure that you've sewn it properly, you're supposed to take it and push it back, and it covers all this fabric right here. So we're good. And we're going to get the giant scissors, because it's faster, and cut approximately 1/4 inch away. We can guesstimate, don't tell people. And that is not going to be big enough for anything. So it too will go. Let's press that back. With FPP, you don't need to set your seams when you press because you can't. It's under paper. But everything else, you should set your seams. You'll notice I don't because I just don't. All right. Now I'm going to go over here. These two top pieces. This is the third piece. This one, pretty side up, right side of my fabric down. This is a solid, so it doesn't really have a right side. Yay for that. This is what they look like from this side. Also this across, and also this one across, so we can get this piece done. Whoops. Dropping my needle down on this intersection right here, and forgive my nails, this is not a nail show. And I'll sew all the way off. And then on this one, I just need to sew from one side to the other. Oh, and back stitch right there. Just a couple stitches. If you're a little bit over the line, it's not going to make a huge deal. You can pull the paper back. It was free one off Ravelry. A fine link, Deborah. I don't know what I was talking about. Sorry. It's just a couple stitches. You don't need to go crazy like I do sometimes. All the way off. And I'm going to grab this one and start off and then go all the way across. Oh, what did I say? Sylvia, I love your slippers. Where did you get the pattern? Oh, the Halloween slippers. Yes. Okay. Yes, I just threw that one down because that's how I am. This covers my entire piece of paper. I need to trim it. And this one. Okay. This one is covering that entire piece of paper too, but I see that I have a little of my color coming through right there. I'm going to cut that off because, oh, I learned the hard way with the red, white, and blue that you don't want that. As long as you've got an eighth, as long as you've got about an eighth right here, you've got plenty of fabric to hold. So it's all right. Oh, and Sylvia's put the link in for those cute Halloween slippers. Sylvia, you can share your link to your video if you want to, so everybody can see those cute slippers. Okay, so this one has a third piece. This side is done. It only has two pieces. This one has a third piece, which is the tab. I'm calling it the tab of the boot. I'm using brown. It goes right sides together. Line it up right there. Check from over here. You can see right through the paper. That's should be my 1/4 of an inch. And we'll start off the paper and go straight across. And if I am talking too fast for you, you can slow this down on the replay. I don't know if you can during a live. And by the way, thank you all for the new subscribers. I should have started out with that. Oh, just people come in and I like to visit and I forget. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the lurkers. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Appreciate those very, very much. I'm in such a hurry. That may sound insincere. It is so not insincere. I really don't do that. So we've got that covering. Let's see how many of these we can get done in a short period of time. This is covering this entire piece right there. I'm going to trim up my edges all the way around. Anything off of the paper is getting cut off. This is my 1/4 inch line. Not all FPP has that. I like it when they do. Did anybody see where I stuck my ruler? Not this ruler. It's not for you. Put your 1/4 inch on your ruler, 1/4 inch line on that black line. Well, my machine is in my way sometimes. Oh, so Melissa is in town. May as well do everything now. What are you doing? What you doing? Are you going to the store? Everything usually includes the store. I did starch my fabrics before I started even my charm packs, which made me very scant in some of the seam allowances, but it's okay. It'll work. Let's put this up there. And if you want it super scrappy, just make it super scrappy. Use a different fabric for up here. Use a different fabric for right here. Use different fabrics. See what happens. See if you like it. It's your quilt. You're the boss. As I am told regularly by my friends, especially Tracy, patterns are suggestions. I am going to finish this piece off, which means this piece goes over here. Now, normally, I would, sorry if I hit my mic, I would poke a pin through right here, and come out these corners right here. I am not feeling that finicky today, so I am going to line my edges up. And so down this line right here, the 1/4 inch line. Just making sure I have these two facing as they're supposed to, which means the white on the same end. Whoops, I did not start off my paper. Hanging on to my threads because it eats them. It makes a horrible noise. Nobody wants to hear that. If you do, you're not a good person. And stick around. around. It'll probably happen. JC says, absolutely, I do what I want. Let's see. After getting scammed buying a cheap crochet pattern, I only look for free ones now. Sylvia said, yeah, that. So that's the top of one boot. That is hot, just so you know. And this one is the one where we put first fabric on, pretty side away from the paper. The second one on, we lined up this edge right here, and I used the stick glue for this. I used the Black Sands glue base bottle for this up here, so I can sew both of these off the paper, start off the paper, and go down. There are so many unscrupulous people out there, Deborah. There are. You guys, it makes me sad that people are trying so hard to take advantage of other people and stealing. I have seen lots of videos lately. Yeah, the right sides of these fabrics are together, by the way. I have seen lots of people, by the way, talking about stolen patterns. There's one that is just a complete misunderstanding that people are just huffing and puffing about. There was a misunderstanding. It happens. The company is actually doing the right thing, but I've said it before. When you get everything made in China to sell as a small business in the States, I think that's how they get ripped off. I think they rip off their design like that. Okay, this one covers that entire piece of paper. This one covers that entire piece of paper. So we are winning at life, friends. I'm going to make 2 of these at least because I'd really like to get this done. Now, can you see this up here? See that shadow? I've got at least an 1/8. So that's plenty for me to sew into my seam allowance. We're going to trim this off. Again, put that 1/4 inch on the line, which is your seam allowance. That seam allowance is there, so you have fabric to sew. I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason for that. And again, this is a Virginia Cole pattern. It's free on Benartex's site. We have a link pinned to the top comment. There are, I'm using my broadcaster voice this morning. I don't know what's wrong with me. There are links underneath the video. If you click the more in the description box, wow, that wasn't very good. More in the description box, you can find them there too. And if you're just now catching it, I'll remind you this Saturday we are doing Babes and Boos, BOOS. Tracy. So I've got a little bit of paper showing right here. It's in the seam allowance. Hang on just I think I breathed in some fabric stuff. Talking too fast. It is in the seam allowance. Let's see if I can show that. Oh, right there you can see the light shining. It's in the seam allowance. It's fine, just like this up here. So that piece is done. Just a second. My goodness. Stern King says, I only do free ones. I only go to sites that are highly recommended by people I trust. The dealer that I dealt with for my double wedding ring 3D printed thing, he was a suggestion from somebody who knew him. So I was comfortable going to them. Okay, now we're going to do the heel. You can see the heel. I've actually put both pieces on. I'm going to hold this one back while I sew this one. Somewhat lined it up here. It's a scrap piece. But when it turns, it will cover that whole piece. The same way with this one down here. Let's see if we can. And if you over glue, if you get the glue like on this side, all you have to do is once your stitches are in there, give it a little bit of a tug. It should come right out. So I'm going to start off here and go straight across. Booze, not booze. Glad we straightened that out. Yes. Sylvia, my daughter bought a cheap crochet kit off Temu. It arrived only half the pattern that was ripped off from someone else. And I've seen that happen a lot on Temu. Like I said, I don't use Temu because I don't feel that it's safe at all. And I get my information from my son, who has 2 bachelor's degrees. So we've sewn that one. Hopefully it goes all the way across. It does. This is bugging me for absolutely no reason. It's not now. I do weird things like that. I know. This one over here, we're going to start right at that intersection. Or if you want, you can start off the paper, stop at the intersection, back stitch. But I think I'm going to start at the intersection here, back stitch, and then go all the way off. You know, sometimes I can make patterns from just seeing them, but I'm never going to give you a pattern that is someone else's and say it was mine. Certainly not purposely. There are some people who do that. If I do it and it was inspired by somebody else and I make it, I will tell you who inspired it and where you can get it, because that is the right thing to do. Again, someone didn't line that up real well. We're going to fix it for them. I still got at least 1/8 of an inch, if not a 1/4 inch right there. And press back. This one will probably need to be trimmed a little bit before I add the next piece. Let's see. So I'm going to put my ruler right here, put it on this line right here, and fold that back. Get me a nice ledge right there to put this against. If you push too hard, it will come off the ledge, just so you know. Okay, this one does not like it. I've actually tried both ends for that particular one, and for some reason it just does not work with this ruler. It may be me, because I'm told it should. This is a True Cut. They come with 2 different ones. There's 2 different tips that go right here. This is probably not the right tip. That, if you want to see more about that, you can go visit our friend Angel Halo Inspirations. She did a whole thing with the company about those. Okay, so now we've got this and this, and we need this piece. I'm not worried about this piece over here. It can just hang out there as long as it wants. Right sides together. Tell me I got that right. And this one I used a template to cut it from. So what I did is right side of this down, and I got a 1/4 of an inch all the way around this triangle right here. And I'll lay that. And if you want to double check, because I have had angles on wrong before, just fold it back. You'll see it will fit. And this time I'm going to do that again because I felt it slip. I'm going to start over here, stop here, and back stitch. Off the paper, hold your threads. Use leaders and enders also work. I don't do leaders and enders because I don't feel like it. Back stitch, take it off. Trim your threads. Oh. and it covers that entire piece. And I need to trim those threads. Oh, Deborah has taken away a message. We know that upsets me. So, okay. It looked weird right there, but that's right. I'll have to trim this up when I'm done. Now this top piece, right sides together. Let's get that one down to 1/4 of an inch before I mess it up. On the line. All the way across. Oh. Now you all have reminded me we have to do grocery shopping soon. I didn't do it. What are we talking about? Oh. Nope. That is all that came off. That is enough to make my next piece go on sideways and not line up here for me. So my next piece, I'm going to line it up here and here. This piece has a little bit of overhang. We're going to ignore that. At least in a second we are. I could cut that off now if I wanted to. So now I've got this lined up right here. I'm going to turn it over, and so from one side to the other, you can see the shadow back here where I've got my 1/4 inch. But I think what I was saying earlier, when I again interrupted myself, was Babes and Booze Saturday at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Time, 9 Eastern, and 2 p.m. UK time. I think Dawn is going to join us from my quilt projects. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. I have not ran a Zoom meeting before, so we'll see how I do with that. Oh, okay. Whoops. Push it back. Like I said, I starched this, so it's just a tad bit short of the full 1/4 inch right there. It's fine. I was not going to go buy a bunch of fabric because I was just going to be a smidge short. Push it back. That. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to trim this up. Put this boot together. Are we talking about food? You know, my anniversary is actually the same day as our Block of the Month comes out. We celebrate how much time we've been together instead of how many years we've been married, though, because getting a divorce from my first husband was a mess. It took too long. So we have been together 25 years. Oh, thank you for Don's. My fingers pushed the wrong key. Sorry, Colleen. Oh, Deborah, yeah. My fingers do that. I usually send it and then just leave it and say, ah. Especially when I'm on the tiny phone. Pardon me. All right, so we've got this. We've got the toe. We've got this. So I'm going to put all 3 of these pieces together and these 2 pieces together and then merge. Take this and just line the edges up right around there. I can sew on the papers if I want to. I think I will. I'll sew down that 1/4 inch line right there. You can pin it. If you're not comfortable just holding it like this, you should pin it. And heaven knows that I am off sometimes. If I let that bother me, I would always be seam working. Okay, and now we're going to take this one Line my papers up right here and here and here, and go down that 1/4 inch. Yeah. I'm just going to take some of this paper out of my seam allowance. Yeah. This is why. And Tracy, your sleep schedule's still not going like it should, because my son is having that problem too. He got his sleep schedule figured out, and then all of a sudden he's up all night again. There's just no way I'm going to get anything done this weekend. There's too many places for me to go. Too much for me to do this week. All right. Top. Now I'm going to put that bottom piece of the boot on it. Just fold that over again, line up here, here, and here on your papers. Since this one's a little bit short, I want to make sure that's in the seam allowance. Just celebrated 45 years, Deborah says. Congratulations. You could pin at these corners like I showed you earlier. I'm just going to line up the papers. It works pretty good for me. I say that, and then we're going to see me go all kinds of wonky. Yep, all kinds of wonky. You know who's going to care? No one. All they're going to know is they have a warm, pretty blanket. Quilt blanket. Okay, now we've got that. Let me double check this over here. Okay, there's enough. A little bit scared of that over there, but are you on the wonk? Colon? I'm always wonk. Wonky, wonky, wonky. Now I take this one, fold it over this one, and go down our 1/4 inch. Oh, it's making me nervous. This one was. That should just catch this. Okay, back. Tracy wants more. Tracy ran off. I didn't see it. Congratulations, Colleen and Deborah. Thank you. 50 years in March, Sylvia says. Congratulations, everyone. I think the key to a long relationship is not needing bail money. But always having your friends ready with it. Oh, this is not quite lining up over here like I want it to. Okay. Oh, I didn't trim that. I didn't trim those pieces after I put them on. My bad. My bad. So I am lining these up over here. That's trying to go in on me, so I'm going to take it out. I should have pinned. I think I pinned last week. I may or may not have pinned last week. Boom. The key is not pushing him down the stairs, Colleen. I know. And hiding, the artillery and not punching. That's why we quilt, because punching people is wrong. Sylvia, you are so bad. Oh, she knows me. Luckily, we only have 2 stairs. That does not look flat, but it will when I take the papers off. They always look a little curly to me when I have the papers on, but when I take the papers off, it all flattens out. And now we have another boot. And they will get sashing on the sides of them. I think in the pattern, that's the last thing they do before they start putting it all together. So I'm going to wait on that. Cute boot, Sylvia says. Thank you. 50 years in March for us, Deborah. Can't remember life without him. Sylvia said that. All right, so now I've got 2 boots. Okay. Now I have 2 boots. I made a mess of this one when I was pushing it around over there. Yep, here too, Colleen. And whoops, I turned that on myself. Remember, Mom and Pop are on today with I know what it's called. Cross stitch. What do you say? Corner stitch with Cross Stitch Tuesday. If you're not into cross stitching, it's okay. I don't want to do cross stitching, but I like to see hers and I like to hear the visiting. And thank you again to the lurkers. I do that quite a bit. Those are just stinking cute. I'm not going to do another one right now because I just don't feel like it. I think my body's had enough. Yesterday I spent all day. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Cut my head off. Well, that's not right either. Hang on. Keep them closed. There you go. Oh, yesterday I spent all day laying on the couch trying to will my body not to hurt anymore from playing with the toddler in the floor all day Sunday. I had a mat in the floor that was great that I got off Amazon. Okay, so that took about 30 minutes to do one boot that was already set up. And we need 20 of them. So I'd plan a couple hours. Like I said, I've got these all set up just like that one. So all I have to do is sew them. I'm going to set up more. I'll probably set them up first because the sewing part's it's smooth sailing from there. Oh, Deborah, she says, well, I'm thinking about it. I only spent $175 at the fabric store while in Kentucky. Congratulations. That is an accomplishment. Just so you know. Oh. Sorry if I missed something. I'm trying to keep up with chat and sew and all this, but go get the free pattern. It's over on Benartex. The link is pinned up at the top. Just click that pinned comment that I put up there. I keep pointing the wrong way. I apologize. It would be over here. When the chat comes up, if you're watching this and the chat hasn't come up, you don't want to drop that chat button, that chat box or whatever. You do you, but my question is, why don't you want to see what everybody's saying? I am just naturally nosy. There are things that will be missed. I'm teasing y'all. I'm teasing. Oh goodness. I make myself laugh and then I forget what I'm going to say. So we're going to cover that with more awkward laughter. Next week, we're going to keep working on this till it's done. I'm hoping that I get to do some in between the lives. Like I said, this week, I donate plasma. Those days, I can't do anything. My body does not do anything. Then I'm going to my kids because I'm helping them with the house, because who doesn't love coming home to a nicely cleaned house where all you got to do is sit down after work, especially when you're pregnant. So I'm helping my kids, and then let's see, today's live, then kids, then donating, then got to take a kid to the haircut, then we're going to do a live on Saturday, and I have to get the block of the month sewn together, and whoo, I need more time in a day, or better spine. I keep telling people that's what I want for Christmas. Still haven't got it. So we're going to do what we're going to do. Hello. Good morning, Angel. She says, been lurking today, had to work. Blah. TY for Boots and FPP. You're welcome. And by the way, I mentioned it at the beginning. She has the free blocks as long as the sew along is going along for the fantabulous Scrappy Stars quilt. You can find those on her channel. Fern says, I hate backaches. I live with them. And the fibromyalgia doesn't help, but my pills do help that somewhat. There's just times that I just can't do anything. Like the Streamlabs. By the way, Angel, you probably heard I did look into the Streamlabs because I want to use 2 cameras. My mind did not take in that information very well. So I'm going to still work on that. This is still things that I'm working on. I can do what I can do when I can do it, and that's all. Many of you may be in the same boat as me. You have physical problems. You can't do everything that everybody else does. It's okay. You do you, and don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Lord made you the way you are for a reason. Is my opinion. Don't freak out, please. Speaking of Lord, if you are a prayer warrior, please don't forget to pray for all those with the hurricane coming in and everything else. That's all I'm going to say about that. But please pray for those. And if you're a prayer, if you're not, it's okay. We can still be friends. Good vibes, candles, whatever you want to do. All right, we're going to get off here. I feel like I just ran a race. Deborah says, my back. Soren says, me too. I hate backaches. I have it too. And Deborah does too. See? And can't keep up with everybody. So you do what you can. And if all you're wanting to do is come along and watch while we make stuff, yay. Come along and watch. Let us keep you company. Jump in and say hi. If you don't, it's okay. You can lurk. Nobody's stopping you. Deborah says, my back aches all the time, sometimes worse than others. Melissa says, me too. Almost home. Good. Be careful. Take care, everyone. Everyone have a great week. I hope to see you over there, or not see you if you're lurking, at Mom and Pop's and Halos on Wednesday. Friday, Dee Dee drops her video at 5. I have so many time zones running through my head. It's just not okay. 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Oh, I'm so sorry. 3 p.m. Eastern is Halos. 5 p.m. Central is our friend Dee Dee's. And then Saturday, we will have Babes and Booze at 8 a.m. Central Time. You can do the math, figure out everybody else's. And then Mom and Pop will be on later that afternoon, correct? TY for all the plugs, learning curves. You're learning curves? Is that what you're saying? Or the tech thing? Because the tech thing turned to gibberish the other day on me. I was like, oh, I can do Streamlabs. I've done it before. I actually have used Streamlabs before. It went in, it turned to mush, and that's how it came back out. I'll get it. I have got a genius tech guy in the next room. He wants Mama to learn on her own. It's so unfair. And with my medications, it makes my head kind of low sometimes, and it's like I'm not grasping things that I normally would grasp. But anyway, okay, we're going to take care. We're all going to have a good week. We're going to be kind to one another because kindness matters. No need to be hateful and rude. Be kind. Say something nice. Say something to someone that doesn't expect it that's kind. Always feels good to make somebody smile. Be the light you want to see in others. And I'll see you next week.